Hello, Canucks fans. Welcome back to another episode of the Canucks Conversation, brought to you as always by the great folks over at Zephyr Epic. You can use promo code Hockey Season, capital H, capital S, Hockey Season. That will get you $5 off your order at Zephyr Epic. If you choose to shop online, be sure to visit zephyrepic.com. That is ZEPHYR Epic. They're also on all social media platforms, Facebook, Twitter, Twitch, Instagram, whatever it is. They've got you covered for all of your trading card needs. They've also got a beautiful retail location in Surrey, British Columbia. That promo code Hockey Season, because it's almost hockey season, folks, is also valid in store if you choose to shop there. My name is Dave Quadrelli. I'm joined as always by the man who built the place, Chris Faber, our technical producer. As always is Aaron Bordato. Although I'm not sure how long that's going to last, given how you mistreated him yesterday.
I barely mistreated him.
Barely mistreated him, but you still mistreated him.
No.
Like I said, Chris Faber, ladies and gentlemen. We have hockey cards open, courtesy of our friends over at Zephyr Epic. Busy show today. Shortest show, probably. Canucks fall in overtime in Edmonton. How are you today?
Good. I'm trying to keep my mouth shut in the intro because I always want to cut you off. So I'm just...
What's on your mind, buddy?
I'll talk about it in a minute here. But big pack again. These are the big ones. Quad, you know how much each of these packs cost? $35 each. So you better pull something nice in here. These are the 2021-2022 hockey credentials. Looking for hard-signed 2020-21 rookie cards. That's what you're looking for here, Quads. Anything fun up in there? We got Connor McDavid on the front. Scored the overtime winner last night. We'll talk about last night's game. Spend a whole bunch of time on that. Anything cool, Mr. Quadrelli over there? Nothing.
This is interesting. I got a numbered card.
Nice.
Of Jansen Harkins.
Okay.
This is a numbered. Yeah. I got a couple here. This is a numbered Jansen Harkins. I have 484 out of 999. Is it more valuable if you get like 1 out of 999 or 999 out of 999?
Yeah. Ty, who does their opening, when I was there last, I asked him about them. And he said the best one to get is the player's number.
Oh.
So if you say it's Elias Pettersson, if it's a 40, sorry, what is this card?
Yeah, that's pretty cool.
I got the rookie speed of the game. I can't tell.
That's a nice looking card.
Yeah, Dawson Mercer, and then I got William Eklund, star of the night rookie.
Yeah, I got nice. Joe Veleno, star of the night rookie as well.
It's good you got a numbered card. But yeah, that's what I heard. The numbered cards, the best one to get, I think, is number 1.
Yes.
Then the next best one is their jersey number. So I guess the more you know. I learned that from Ty down there at Zephyr Epic. Good folks.
Go get yourself some hockey cards, folks. Promo code is Hockey Season. Again, that is a capital H and a capital S. You can go get your own hockey cards, or you can message us. We give out hockey cards. Kind of what we do.
I'm back on the XS. Shout out to them. Brought it over. You can't tell the damn green screen. This is why me and Aaron have fights all day long before the show.
Energy drink.
Anyways,
which you said your mom drinks.
Yeah, my mom's a fan, but then they got the bigger can. She can't drink. She can't handle the big cans anymore. For me, all good for me. I got to get something off my chest.
I can't do energy drinks.
Off my chest here. I've been on a little bit of a late night pancake kick. I don't know if you ever get in this mood, but you know how easy pancakes are to actually make. Especially I just have the mix where you just add water. I know it's not the best.
Don't do that.
Stop. So I know that you just these are so simple to make. I mix it up in a little bowl, but I use milk. Right. I use milk instead of water. Yeah. I just think it's a little bit of a better pancake. But last 3 nights in a row, I put down a stack of pancakes at 1 a.m. And it's something that listen, this isn't the first time in my life where I've done this, where I'll go 5 days straight of eating pancakes at 1 a.m. I'm just curious when I'm gonna get tired of eating pancakes that late. And I think it's not good to because I go to bed with a whole bunch of fresh butter in my stomach, a whole bunch of syrup in my stomach. Obviously I'm drinking a glass of milk with it, and I'm going to bed right after that. And I'm waking up in the morning. It feels like my intestines unraveled, then re-raveled. I'm waking up with a horrible feeling in my stomach every day. And I think after this morning, the way I woke up, I think tonight's the night I won't do it. But I'm not making any guarantees on that as well. I may be back on the pancakes tonight.
Beyonce is horrified listening to you say this.
Well, that's the other problem. She wakes up in the morning, and what's going on in the kitchen? A big freaking pancake mess. There's powder everywhere.
You're one of those. You got to clean up after yourself.
No, you don't have to clean up after 1 a.m. That's a rule.
That's ridiculous.
After 1 a.m., you don't have to clean up.
That is absolutely ridiculous. I'm glad we were never roommates. People used to think we were roommates.
No.
We got that sometimes of, are you guys roommates? Absolutely not.
I'm a very clean roommate. I do most of the cleaning in this house.
Dude, if I woke up to your pancake dust on the countertops?
A little bit of pancake dust. Come on, I go to your house and all there is everywhere is Legos laying in the corner.
They are put together.
No, they're all over the ground too.
Sometimes I'm working on something.
That's what I'm saying. I go in there and there's everywhere you go. You can't even put your feet up on your table because you got Legos all over the place. Nothing worse than a Lego on the foot.
Don't put your feet on my table.
That's what I'm saying. I can't.
Yeah, I don't want you to.
Yeah, exactly. Shout out to BC Lions in the background there. Friday night, 7:30.
Mama Lisa's mad at you. Clean up after yourself.
Oh, no. And my fiance had her bridal shower last week. And one of the questions, they asked like 15 questions.
Yeah.
By the way, out of everyone on that bridal shower, you had to like see how many questions you got right out of 15. Yeah. I did the best. I was on, it was a Zoom call, right? Because all of her family's out east.
Okay.
I did the best, 13 out of 15, A+.
Yeah, and what was the exercise?
One of the questions was, who's the cleaner person out of Chris and Nikki? And I said, in all caps, me for sure.
That's like me for sure.
Everybody thought it was Nikki. No.
Yeah. Did she agree?
I'm very good at keeping like a clean area when I share it with someone. But if it's my own spot, like, this office, I mean, it's not really clean, but it's not like dirty either. But like, I'm very good at a shared space. I'll keep that very clean.
It's nice of you.
Yeah.
Unless it's asked after 1 a.m.
Great name. Great first initial on your last name. My boys and I had pancakes for dinner last night, and I agree with you. It's not a great sleep, and the morning was unpleasant. I think it's just, and I'm assuming here that Chris is over 30, because before I could do pancakes all the time, but I think it's probably like the 200 milliliters of buttered.
Maybe.
What's the new? They call it Pearl Milling Company.
Can we get moving here?
Syrup? Yeah.
Can we get moving?
Oh, sorry. We want to dive into the preseason so hard.
Yeah.
I kind of do. Yeah.
Absolutely, we do. The Canucks fall in overtime 2-1 to the Edmonton Oilers. And it was very funny because yesterday when we were talking about Dakota Joshua, we were talking about facility puck holes, and there was someone in the chat. We ignored him. But there was someone in the chat saying, oh, this is all pointless. You can't draw conclusions from the preseason. I'm sure that same dude is on Twitter last night. Oh, Teddy Bluger. Canucks penalty kill is going to be fantastic. And I'm not knocking it. 4 for 4 on the penalty kill. That is the biggest takeaway of the night. The Oilers had their first power play unit. Sure, it's preseason. They got to get warmed up. That was their first chance to work together. But you saw Teddy Bluger be exceptional on the penalty kill. Obviously, Elias Pettersson as well. We already knew he could kill penalties. But Carson Soucy, I thought, looked good on the penalty kill. The first Oilers goal, he kind of missed that switch, which cost the Canucks. But for the most part, the team defense, the penalty killing, how can you not be pleased with that? The overall effort level, like the way they were moving the puck through the neutral zone, it almost didn't feel like you were watching the Canucks.
Yeah, I think there was a lot of things to like from last night's game. And obviously a 2-1 loss in overtime. I think a little more surprised. We gave our score predictions after the show yesterday.
Yes, we did.
I think we were all pretty off. But we didn't see the lineup. And yeah, I thought that there was certainly some players who made a big impact. And I think the Teddy Bluger is probably the biggest one. Like, listen, he wasn't the best Canuck, but to play above the level that maybe we had for an expectation, Teddy Bluger could have been there. I know that Aaron, he was one of the players you noticed as well. Who did you know? Because Aaron was our producer, Aaron Bordow. He was in attendance yesterday at the game. Aaron, you said Teddy Bluger was the one guy that popped to you. I know you got to tell everyone you also became a big fan of Andrei Kuzmenko as well. We'll get to that in a second. But who did you like? You were in the arena last night.
Well, yes, I was boots on the ground as a nice crossover between Canucks Army and the nation. But my number one fan, who I am now a fanboy of, is Andrei Kuzmenko. That guy is good at hockey. He had a couple moves. I think he dipsy-doodled, toe-dragged one of our D-men, and he came right in, tried to backhand it. It was quite the move. It was right in front of me. And I was like, man, I would have liked this guy in an Oiler jersey. I was very impressed by him.
Fun player. Very fun player is the best way to put it. Very fun.
Yeah, he's very fun to watch. I did notice Teddy Bluger. The penalty kill has to be the storyline because we had everyone we had, and we're the greatest power play of all time. And I know it's preseason. I get it. But we had all our guys, and they've been practicing. So I was impressed by that. Props to you guys. I don't know if that's just a Teddy Bluger thing. I noticed Casey DeSmith. Guy can't get new pads. What's that about? What's that about?
The story there, because everybody saw his yellow pads, and we saw it at training camp too. So as you know, he was traded to Montreal in the offseason. So he had just had his Montreal pads were like about to get delivered before he got traded to the Canucks. And now he's kind of like, okay, well, I'm not going to use my Montreal pads. I'm going to keep using my Penguins pads already broken in. So he got traded like a day before training camp, right? So he's working on it. They're very close.
He's waiting on the signature, the K. Whitmore signature.
What?
Come on, you're a goalie guy?
What are you talking about?
Every single piece of equipment in the NHL has K. Whitmore's signature on it.
Who's K. Whitmore?
He's the guy who approves every single pad, glove, mask.
Where was he in 2011?
He wasn't there yet. Now,
oh man,
K. Whitmore.
How did I not know this? That's interesting.
You can find it. It's normally on the bottom of the pads or inside the glove, inside the blocker. It all has to be approved by this guy, and there's only one guy in the world who does it.
What a sick job.
What a sick goalie pull by me. I mean,
that's great. That actually is a great pull. I bet a lot of our listeners didn't know that.
Yeah, K. Whitmore. So every single piece of, I don't think it's like the chest pads and the pants, but like every pad, blocker, glove signed by this guy, and that's what he's waiting on. Because all the goalies are getting their new pads in to this Whitmore guy at the start of the year. He's probably busy right now.
Drowning in it.
Oh, yeah. You think Woodley's garage is disgusting. You probably see this Whitmore guy's thing. And yeah, so that's what he's waiting on for DeSmith to get that. The mask, I don't know about that. Because it's like, it was funny watching when they zoom in on him on the broadcast. There's like penguins on the other side. And you're like, hey, whatever.
He was acquired by this management regime. It's fitting.
Mm-hmm.
Very fitting.
No, and I think you brought up a good point there. And like he was pretty solid in that game. And I think that's nice. I mean, he's the guy who kind of resulted in Spencer Martin, as we saw the news today, heading on waivers and being sent down to the Abbotsford Canucks. It looks like the sounds of it from Elliot Friedman, they were trying to trade him.
Yeah.
But I kind of wrote the article this morning. I didn't think
we're not going to go deep into it. Yes or no? Does he get claimed on waivers?
No, he won't get claimed.
No, he's going to Abbotsford.
No, I think he's.
Corey Anderson jumped in the YouTube live chat and said, K. Whitmore is also a former Canuck goalie. Come on, Quads. And he said, I'm glad I have to leave. Disgusted by this gap in your knowledge.
Thank you, Corey. Thank you very much.
I cannot believe I forgot that. Anyways, okay.
Aaron, anything else? You were in the arena. Give us another guy that you liked from the Canucks. Because by the way, you were joking with us before we went to air here. You said you basically knew every player number, producing this show, spreading the knowledge around to those you freaking oily boys over there.
Dude, don't tell anyone, but I'm kind of becoming a fan. I kind of like the Canucks. You guys have done this for me. But I said before the show, that it was wild to be there and know every single Canucks player by like number and name and being like, wow, I do pay attention to the show. Like, wow, Faber does teach me. Wow, look at that.
There you go.
Archdeep Bains might get an NHL job.
Yeah.
I thought I noticed Brisebois.
Hell yeah. I love the Brisebois pull by you. That is the epitome of Aaron saying, yeah, I'm starting to learn some Canuck names. He's like, yeah, I actually like Guillaume Brisebois. Like, that rocks. And the thing about Brisebois, he's playing with Tyler Myers. Does he make the team? Because before the season, all of our polls, all of our crap.
Carson Soucy.
Yes. Excuse me. But does Guillaume Brisebois make the team? Like, does he make the team? Because we weren't talking about him in that regard. Does he make the team?
By the way, fire alarm going off.
I don't know if people can hear it.
Okay.
I kind of heard it.
Okay.
Yeah, it's going off. We were warned in the next.
It's a test. Yes, it's a test. Let's be clear. Yeah,
no, it's not.
We're not just like, it's just another fire alarm, whatever.
The old Boudreaux. Now I'll risk it. Risk it for the listeners.
I don't smell no smoke.
There we go. Lisa loving it in the chat here, Aaron, as you can probably see there as well. So you like Brisebois. Talk me through that. I didn't think Brisebois stuck out to me. I actually almost didn't know that Brisebois played, but what did you see from? Because I know
that's when he's at his best. That is Guillaume Brisebois' game.
No, what I'm saying is there's a different way of understanding a player when you're actually there at the rink, and I'm curious to see what you saw there, Aaron.
From what I saw, it was just not making mistakes, and he kind of pointed out to me, getting some outlet passes, getting it out. I think I saw him lay a couple of hits. I don't know. I was like, oh, that guy seems like he's actually doing stuff out there.
Their outlet passes looked a lot better last night. Like, especially with what we saw last year, like every time a player touched the puck, it was chip it and out, like boards and out, oftentimes not actually out, and then it's in the back of the net. Like, how much has that happened over the last 2 years? They got to be near the top of the league in that, right? Where you fail to clear the zone because you're trying to chip it out, and then it's in the back of your net.
Mm-hmm.
Like, didn't Jim Rutherford once say that was what pissed him off about the team? Was he's like, this happens all the time. We always chip it out, and then it never gets out, and it's in the back of our net.
And I'll tell you, I saw it a couple times from Niels Höglander. And there was, that's the thing that he really needs to work on. When you get to your own blue line, you just got to get the puck out and make the other team reset. I say it all the damn time on this show. And I've been saying about Höglander all the time, he did it multiple times in the game where it's just like there's such a difference of just chipping a puck 7 feet and making all of their players that are in deep in the corner waiting for the cycle to keep going. They have to now reset. So you have so much time to reset defensively. You can't be losing the puck battle just before your blue line. And I saw Höglander do that a couple times again last night, which was unfortunate.
I will say my biggest takeaway out of all this, though, clean up your pancake batter at 1 a.m.
Yes, that is unacceptable. I don't know how you're like, it's after 1 a.m, fair game. What the hell is that?
Listen, it's when I'm at 1 a.m, I got so many things on the go at 1 a.m. I got prospects to watch. I'm watching. That's when I watch all my prospect stuff.
Rocket League.
Whatever.
Yeah, I'm on Rocket.
Yeah,
exactly.
Everything.
That's what I'm saying. I was busy last night.
At 9:05 last night, we were playing Rocket League. You said to me, "I ain't working tonight. I'm done working."
I didn't say that.
You absolutely said that. You said that on Rocket League. This is what happens. He plays video games till 12:30. He's like, "Oh, I'm hungry. I'm gonna eat some pancakes."
I kind of want pancakes tonight now.
I'm not dipping my fingers in the batter and like rubbing them all over the countertops. Like it's just like a little bit of powder in the morning. It's done.
But who has to clean it?
I do.
Okay,
and then what I do? Get up and clean my fiance's Met. She's doubling up. Never mind. I'm not going to myself in trouble here.
Pump the brakes.
His wedding's in a week.
She's
folks.
great.
His wedding is in a week.
10 days. Yep.
Yeah, 10 days.
And it's gone.
Yeah.
Okay.
Right, yeah, it was a good game.
Yeah. We appreciate you getting Canucks Combo boots on
the ground, baby.
Canucks Combo's there.
Yeah.
We're there.
I'll be in Edmonton for the Canucks' first road game of the season. I'll bring similar analysis. I'll be seeing Aaron. I'll be hanging out with Aaron in person. Thanks for the contributions, Aaron. Let's move on. Seattle Kraken tonight. Quick turnaround. We said it'd be a shorter show today, but then we got into some shenanigans, so it might be a little longer than we expected. But Seattle Kraken tonight. I just wrote the pregame. I called it scenes because we didn't go to morning skate. There was no practice. I don't even know what to call it, so I just called it scenes. So Aaron, if we can get it up here, I got the lineup here of what I project.
Sorry, before we get to tomorrow too much.
Tonight.
No, but before we get to tonight too much, we're not going to talk about Dakota Joshua.
You know what? You're right. That is a miss by me.
Here,
yep.
Okay.
Absolutely.
The pick it up message that was sent.
Just talk through it.
No, I want it to be on part of the show. You hear that? What's the point of that? What's the point of that?
It is to let you know that you need to vacate. If you ever hear that and you weren't told to test, you need to go down the stairs and get out of the building. I hope this isn't news to you.
This thing's not going down. All right. Dakota Joshua needed to pick it up. He did. I thought he was his dog rating was 90 plus last night. He was the highest dog rating on the team of the ones I measured. I didn't measure everyone, but I did look at the numbers that I needed, threw it in there. Dakota Joshua was number one. And there was the reason he was the number one in the dog ratings last night, 1,000% because of effort. The effort level that he had compared to what he had in the Sunday game, night and day difference. And I know Tocchet kind of talked a little bit about, conditioning maybe being something. I know Brendan Batchelor tweeted it out. We actually probably should have had that graphic for this show, but Batch tweeted out about his conversation with Dakota Joshua, with Rick Tocchet about Dakota Joshua in the pregame and said maybe it's a conditioning thing. And this is not a job that's going to be handed to him. I thought he came out and played like you want to see him play in a fourth line role last night. That was effective. He was a guy who was on the penalty kill, blocking shots, throwing hits, drawing penalties. Overall, a very good night for Dakota Joshua.
It was, and you were hoping for a response like that. And I mean, the fact that he got under Connor McDavid's skin is, I think, what everybody kind of looked at and said, oh, all right, now you're doing your job. And that's the thing that we kept talking about was, when we were jumping to conclusions too much yesterday, was that, yeah, you need to be that buzzsaw. You need to be that energy guy. Like, Tocchet loves those guys. And you can't, just because you think you've made the team or whatever, I'm not putting words in Dakota Joshua's mouth, I hope, but you can't get complacent when you're a guy like that, right? Like, when you're a bottom six grinder, you can't just start getting complacent. Like, you never saw a guy like Yannick Hansen or Alex Burrows take their foot off the gas, right? Like, that's what set those guys apart. And it was nice to see him quickly respond when Tocchet tried to get him back on the rails.
Yeah, it took one. I mean, Joshua's got 121 games in his career in the NHL. So it's not like he's been there, done that, long-term vet. He's got 3 seasons. And, last year was the most he's played by a mile, playing 79 games. Rick Tocchet likes Dakota Joshua when he's on his game, but this is a guy, and I thought you brought up a really good point yesterday. It's kind of like Gordon Ramsay talking to the kids and talking to the adults. Like, he was talking to Joshua, who's still 27 years old. It's not like he's been around forever, but he hasn't been a guy who's just fresh off the scene. This is the quote, and thank you, Aaron, for grabbing this. This is from Rick Tocchet in the pregame, tweeted out by Brendan Batchelor, our buddy Batch. This is what Tocchet said. I want to see him on the forecheck when he's at his best. He's the first guy. He's winning those battles and energy. A lot of talking on the bench, like everybody. You got to fight for some jobs here, and I feel that he needs to get himself going. His fitness level has to increase. He's such a great kid. I want to see him succeed, but he's going to have to meet me at the 50-yard line here and make sure that he holds up his end of the bargain.
I love that.
Man, the more and more Tocchet's here, the more and more we're like, man, you start to like the guy, right? I'm curious how much the fan base is, because we deal with them all the time, and he's excellent. Like when the media scrum ends, he's excellent with everyone. Really nice to everyone before, cracking jokes after. Great to deal with. I'm wondering how much the fan base is also turning to be like, oh, we really like Tocchet, because man, I bring it up half booze, half cheers when he was announced as the coach at the first game at Rogers Arena.
I'm going to tell you a Tocchet story from training camp that I didn't tell. I wasn't sure if I was going to tell it. I'm going to tell it.
Okay.
So I'm doing this. Well, I didn't even turn it into a story. I was just asking everybody about stick flex. And I was talking to Tocchet about it. And I didn't want to waste too much of his time because he just met with the general media or whatever. But I just introduced myself and I was like, hey, as soon as you got hired, I got a puppy. So that's why you didn't see me at the rink last year. Didn't get to introduce myself. And I like quickly kind of jumped from that. But he was about to stop me and start asking about Bert. So I already liked Tocchet. I liked him a lot more after that, but I didn't want to waste his time. So I kind of jumped right into my question, but he was like, oh, and he was about to ask me something, but then I had already started talking.
Well, I took an elevator with him one time and he was just like, so like, what got you into this industry? Like, what sports did you play? Or like, you'd ask me, he's just like a normal dude. It's kind of nice to have that sort of relationship, I guess, with somebody and not have to like put them up on a pedestal. And that's the way that they want to be looked at as the head coach of the team. It's nice. He's just a dude. I like that.
He has so much insight. Like he loves to talk, right? And he seems like a smart dude when he talks. Like he has a wealth of knowledge about hockey. And I don't know. I like Tocchet.
I'm gonna get a couple quick hits in here before we get to tonight's lineup. The Quinn Hughes, Cole McWard pairing, I thought they looked fine. I thought McWard did a very good job of getting passes just onto the stick of Quinn Hughes, and I'm not necessarily being like, whenever it's on your stick, like pass it off. Like I'm talking like accurate passes onto the blade, which was really nice to see from Cole McWard. Quinn Hughes was the only goal of the game. He scored on the power play that was a slashing call from Leon Draisaitl into the back of Niels Amon's legs. Oh, that was a hard one. We got the goal here up on YouTube as well with Quinn Hughes fired a shot. And I know he hit the post a little bit earlier in this game as well. So it was nice to see him shooting the puck. I looked after 40 minutes. And he had 8 shot attempts through 40 minutes. I didn't see what he finished with in the game, but he's certainly shooting the puck a lot.
It was Tom that had the tweet. Hughes had 10 shot attempts in that game. Just 7 times previously in his career has Hughes had 10 shot attempts in a game. Hey, so, hey, he said he's going to shoot more, and it led to a post and a goal. Like, Hughes hitting 20 this year.
What are you talking about?
Hughes is hitting 20 this year, right?
In the summer about they saw the basement there from
shooting room. They saw McKinnon and Crosby's.
Yeah, so they got the shooting room.
Dude, Hughes is hitting 20, right? Hughes is hitting 20 this year. We all agree about that?
I don't think so.
You don't think he's hitting 20?
20 goals?
20 goals. You don't think he's going to score 20 goals?
That's every 4 games.
He's on pace to score 82.
He's on pace to score 0. He hasn't played a regular season game.
Preseason pace. He's played 1 game and he's got 1 goal. If he keeps that up, he's going to score 82.
That's preseason pace.
In all seriousness, you don't think he's going to score 20 this year?
I would be surprised. I'd take the under for
sure. With a concentrated effort.
What do you want to bet on?
To score. I don't know. Write it down. It down. Here we go. We're getting the whiteboard out.
The whiteboard out, folks. Yeah. We don't ever use the whiteboard enough. I use this normally when I'm putting the lines together. So we're going to put this bet down on here.
He's scoring 20.
So I'll give
Someone told me to chill with the Tocchet love.
Yeah. So 19.5 goals.
Okay.
For Hughes, and you want over. We're going to do, what are we doing? Dinner with 2 drinks.
2 drinks?
2 drinks.
I don't want to get drunk.
Yeah. Dude. Good point, actually. We'll go 2 Cokes.
Sure.
I like
2 Coke and rums. Let's go.
No,
Let's
okay,
go.
but
2 drinks. Yeah, 2 drinks. I was joking. I was joking. 2 drinks.
Okay. Bet. Last one. You can touch on these 2 here. Arshdeep Bains fitting right in as an NHLer, and Christian Wolanin also.
Yeah, you write it down. I'll talk. Arshdeep Bains, I think what you're most impressed by him was just his ability to kind of make the right plays, I'd say. Like we talk about him being a coach's dream kind of player, and he showed that again last night, which is kind of what you were hoping to see against a team like Edmonton. And hey, like, let's be honest, that was a pretty good Edmonton team. Like, Brandon Sutter might be that team's 4th line center. And hey, we didn't even talk about it. How great was it to see Brandon Sutter out there? Like, I talked to that guy a year or 2 ago, and it did not seem like he was ever going to play again. The fact he's playing in an NHL game, I also thought Brandon Sutter looked pretty good last night. I hope he makes it off that PTO, because my understanding, and Aaron, just correct me in the chat if I'm wrong, but my understanding is that the fourth line center job in Edmonton basically comes down to Lane Peterson or Brandon Sutter. Like, it seems like those are the two guys that are going to get it. Like, Lane Peterson was signed, and then Brandon Sutter was brought in on a PTO.
Both were killing penalties yesterday for Edmonton as well. So, that's it'll be interesting to see how that one plays out. I like both those guys.
Hughes is hitting 20 this year.
I don't think so.
I think for sure he's hitting 20. He scored 8 last year, didn't he? 8.
Yeah. It's quite the jump there, Quads. If he scores 20, he's going to win a Norris. I'll tell you that.
Okay, I like that.
20 goals,
I think he's scoring 20, and I think he might.
If he scores 20, I guarantee he wins the Norris 100%.
Yeah, I think he's hitting 20. He's shooting more.
Do you think it? I mean, the thing is, and the power play is going to be the interesting part, right? Like, how much can he actually bring to the power play in terms of that? Dude,
think about what kind of different dynamic that gives the Canucks power play. Keeping in mind all this movement stuff, which I did want to mention. It didn't seem like we saw much of that last night.
You know how many defensemen scored 20 goals last year?
1
in the NHL.
1.
2.
Who's the? No, don't tell me.
You can get it.
Erik Karlsson.
Yes.
Morrissey didn't.
This guy's not really as much in the Norris conversation. He just scores a lot of goals.
How do I not know this off the top of my head?
You should be able to get this. He's been traded around a little bit. Big museum guy.
No idea.
Big museum guy doesn't help you there?
No.
People in the chat better be going nuts listening on the YouTube here. Dougie Hamilton.
I did not know Dougie Hamilton was a museum guy. No. That's news to me.
That's why wasn't that the thing when he got traded? They're like, he had to get out of here. It wasn't good for the room because he was always going to museums instead of going to the bars.
What? No, I didn't know that.
You didn't hear this?
I did not hear that story. That rocks, though.
I feel like I'm not making that up.
Okay.
All right. But Archie Bains, you mentioned him that you think he's been good. I want to see him play like every possible game here in the preseason. So we'll have to see what happens here with that. But
BM Payne, who's been ripping me a little in the chat, had a really good point. He said Bains equals Mott 2.0.
I pulled up, so I looked up Dougie Hamilton museums. The first article that pops up, or second article from yahoo.com, ca.yahoo.com. Figure out your website. The first article, did Dougie Hamilton's love of museums get him traded? ? First line. Dougie Hamilton is a big museum guy, apparently.
I want to say that this show needs to get back on the rails today, but we have not found the rails yet today. Nope. I think ever since we've started, we've been off the rails.
Yeah.
Anyway,
we're gonna be hearing about this one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay. Are we done? We're done. Dakota Joshua, Teddy Bluger, everybody.
Christian Wolanin.
It was a good performance. It was a good performance from the team last night. Yes, Christian Wolanin looked good as well.
So I'm curious to see how that's the thing. Like, does this group that we see tonight in Seattle, and we'll get to that right now, can they match what the Canucks did last night on being 4 for 4 on the penalty kill against what Aaron called a historical power play?
Yeah.
I mean, now you're throwing kind of a similar level of NHLers, I think, going to tonight's game. And let's get your lineup up here, Quads, because you projected it. You wrote it in the scenes here. So we'll touch on it tonight. Game is 7:00 tonight. It is it's not available on Sportsnet, but Seattle is playing it. So I'm going to, give you the old Marco Torrenius here.
Stop.
I might be able to catch it for you.
So we're hoping to have coverage of it.
I think we
Canucks
will.
Army.
I got a feeling we will.
We're hoping.
If I can watch 16-year-old Czech girls play on the website, I'll find it. I'll get you some clips.
Okay. Okay. So projected lineups tonight. We have a good idea of who the playing roster is going to be. Now, for those on the podcast, I'm not going to read out the entire lineup, but Ian Cole has been stapled to Filip Hronek's side. Oh, jeez. That was loud.
That was loud, wasn't it?
Okay. Ian Cole has been playing with Filip Hronek a lot this preseason and through training camp. This is going to be their first game action together. I'm really looking forward to seeing them play with one another. And I think that's what we're going to see. I think we're going to see a second pairing of Akita Hirose and Noah Juleson. Then on a third pair, I got Matt Irwin, Jet Wu. Again, said I wouldn't read out the whole lineup, but you can kind of guess. It's written on Canucks Army. You'll see it tonight. My question for you, do we see Thatcher Demko get the start tonight?
Yeah, I think so. Time for Demko to get one. I think he'll probably get one more in the final 3 games.
I'll give you my take.
Okay.
Tolopilo starts tonight.
Oh.
Okay. Demko either comes in relief or
no.
Listen, or Demko starts, Tolopilo comes in, whatever. My take is that Demko starts game 4 and game 6, and DeSmith starts game 5. DeSmith gets 2, Demko gets 3.
Okay.
Or 2 or 3.
I could see Demko starting. I think Demko is going to go the full game. But yeah, there could be a world where Tolopila gets like the third period of this one.
Yeah.
Maybe gets a third period again of maybe that DeSmith game or something.
I think the biggest thing to watch tonight is how does Vasily Podkolzin do and where does he play? Yeah. Like, where does Vasily Podkolzin play? Because we are expecting to see Phil DiGiuseppe in that spot that Podkolzin's been at since training camp opened up on JT Miller and Brock Besser's line. I think we're going to see Phil DiGiuseppe there. That is based on what we saw at Tuesday out at UBC when Podkolzin skated with the non-NHL group. We will see where Podkolzin plays tonight. The one wrinkle in it is that Connor Garland made the trip last night to Edmonton, so we don't think he's going to be.
Does that frustrate people to see Phil DiGiuseppe get that part of the lineup and that be on that line with JT Miller and Brock Besser above Vasily Podkolzin?
Nope.
I don't think
you
it frustrates
You need to make sure that you have a lineup that you can trust starting the season. There's no time for Vasily Podkolzin to try to figure it out and play on a second line.
I think the tough part is looking at that, you're like, oh, that's not a top 6 player.
Sure.
Rick Tocchet's eyes, that's a player I like. I'm going to play.
That's a player who probably isn't going to make too many mistakes.
Yeah. No, and I think that's one to watch tonight is like and you know what, that's the thing. Nobody's going to be able to watch. But it will be interesting to
hear.
Listen, I'm going to watch. But I'm very curious to see how much of an impact PDG can make with that role, because like Aiden just said in the chat, no, PDG deserves it. Yeah. I mean, the play that he does and the way that he brings such energy to every shift, I like that on a line with JT Miller and Brock Besser. I feel like they need a little bit of a spark plug. I almost thought that like Niels Höglander might be a guy who could work well with those two, right? Like it's not the biggest body, obviously, but if Niels Höglander is playing his game and, doing that little greasy style that he talked about when we talked to him in Victoria, he's playing greasy. I think that's what that line needs a little bit. You get the little bit of chemistry of the greasiness between somebody and JT Miller, and then a little bit of skill there mixed with Brock Besser. I think that might be an option as well. But yeah, I think Phil DiGiuseppe is going to be at the point right now where he has earned it, and he's going to get that opportunity tonight probably. But it wouldn't surprise me at all to see Podkolzin be the next kind of top line, right? He should be on that second line. Is it going to be Pew Suter you had in your lineup there?
Yes.
And McDonough?
Can we pull it up again?
One more time, Aaron.
One more time, Aaron.
Lost it.
Yeah, so I did have Pia Suter in that
Beauvillier.
second line center role with Anthony
Beauvillier is going to be the most forgotten Canuck for me this year. I just always forget about him. I hope he scores like 23 goals or something and has like a good year and people like him, but I always forget about him when I'm talking about wingers.
Quinn Hughes scoring 20. He's absolutely scoring 20.
I'm going to a nice place for dinner on this one too. I want to go to one of those Korean hot pots. Or they got the grill? The grill in the middle? Yeah. I've never done that. I think that's so cool. I'd love to do that.
There's a really good hibachi grill. Hibachi. Have you had hibachi?
Never been, but I'm aware of it. Yeah.
I went there with Downtown Jay.
Oh, nice.
In Edmonton. Okay. And that was a lot of fun. And they were flipping shrimp at you and stuff. It was crazy.
Well, I'll tell you what, I've said this for a long time. I've said it for years since I was 5. If I could go on America's Got Talent, the number one thing would be catching food in my mouth.
You're good at that, eh?
Dude, I can do it. My mom thought it was the funniest thing. When I was a little kid, I don't know, she would lose her mind laughing. So she would like throw stuff across the room. The worst one though, I took an M&M peanut, chipped a tooth.
Oh,
and it went boom right in the tooth.
Ugh.
Snapped the thing right on me.
Yeah, she's putting some velo on
that.
Well,
then we had to go like marshmallows, those little banana gummies things.
You have to account for mom's Randy Johnson.
But I tell you, we'll go to hibachi. That shrimp in the pocket, shrimp in my mouth. That's the way it's going to go. All right, we're all good for tonight. Nobody's going to be able to watch the game, unfortunately.
Brendan Batchelor, friend of the show.
Yeah, listen to Batch.
Yeah, he's going to have the call on Sportsnet 650.
Yeah.
And you should go listen to it.
Yeah. He's getting ripped a little bit last night by Shorty.
Why?
Just a couple little things here.
He didn't get ripped by.
He said he was getting ripped a little bit because he's wrong.
They disagree on the Luongo thing, and I don't know. There was a lot of talk about that. We're not doing it again.
We pass that up. Listen, when the Luongo night comes, it's gonna be so stupid.
Yeah.
The 2 shows leading up to the Luongo night, we're gonna be arguing about it again. It's like, does anybody really?
Our third time talking about this.
My request for the listeners, especially in the live chat here, get some new exciting takes.
Yes.
And save them.
Yeah,
because I like the new exciting takes on this, but I don't want to hear the same crap.
I've been having fun going 5 days a week again. I kind of missed it.
It's nice. It's good to get a new schedule. All right, we did touch on Spencer Martin going on waivers. That's the other story. Do we have the LeCaire-Mackey shootout goal? Aaron, do we have that in here? I can't remember if I put it in the chat. Jonathan LeCaire-Mackey. Yeah, we do. Look at that.
Look at Aaron go.
So he scored in a shootout today. Thought it was a pretty quiet game, honestly, for Jonathan LeCaire-Mackey today. But nice little move in the shootout. Splits it into the 5-hole. Just right between the K. Whitmore signature right there. Nice goal in the shootout here. Good hands from Jonathan Lecarmac. He had a nice little play earlier as well as set up a scoring chance. But aside from that, pretty tough one of him for 5-on-5. And then he took a shot again. I guess this is how it works in the SHL. It's kind of like, do you remember, was it the Olympics where TJ Oshie shot like every shootout goal for them after 3? I guess that's what it's like in the SHL because he was the 4th shooter as well.
That's
and they ultimately ended up losing. It was Orebro's first loss of the SHL season.
What a nice little move. Anyways, I know this is the thing that people have been saying to me about Lecarmac is like in our comment section when we post about it. In the comment section, they're saying, okay, please post something when he doesn't score from the same spot on the power play or score a shootout goal.
Somebody got in my ear about something, and I want to clear this up because I said it on the show, and then I also wrote in an article, and they said I was so wrong. You keep talking about Lecarmac for a second here. It's about the pay structure in the SHL. I was thinking that these young kids were getting paid a ton.
Yeah.
Okay. But because I was thinking like Lecarmac signs with the SHL team, you think they'd be paying him a lot of money to get here. Somebody got in my ear. I want to make sure I get this all correct.
Do you want me to keep talking about him?
No, I got it here.
Okay, I got a lot to say on those.
Yeah. So in the SHL, you get a rookie contract until you hit 100 minutes or automatically you get this rookie contract when you hit 100 minutes of ice time. Rookie contracts don't end until you actually turn 21 years old. So it's a ladder system depending on your age and the base level. Adding to the base salary, there's a bonus system where they can earn more based on performance. So a top player in the SHL, who I was thinking was making like $200K, like American, they're only making 45 to 50,000. So to my point that I wrote in the article the other day, and I've mentioned this on the show, so I'm just correcting myself here. You're getting paid more to be in the AHL as a junior player than you are in the SHL. So I found that pretty interesting because I was thinking, there's a reason why they're staying there. Not just money, obviously being comfortable in your own place, like your own country. But I thought they were making a lot less in the AHL. No, they're making more in the AHL, making like 80K than they would here in the SHL, making, 45 to 55.
Gotta take them to Cactus. No Cactus Club in Sweden.
No, but and I got a place to stay out there for World Junior. So talk to the bosses there. I'm going.
This was a Patreon conversation, wasn't it?
I'm going in January or December. I mean.
We had a lot of fun on the Patreon recently. Patreon.com/Canucks Convo. Okay, let's get to the poll question. As always, brought to you by the great folks over at Atlas Goods. Go to atlasgds.com and use promo code CC15. That will get you 15% off your first order of pop rinds. These are the best fresh pork rinds straight from your microwave or air fryer. They're like pork rinds you've never tried before, folks. So
I forgot to get J-Pat. I told J-Pat I'd send him home with a bag next time he's back.
Right.
I'll bring him to the rink. I'll bring him a bag of pellets.
That's right. So our Atlas Goods poll question today: who will lead the Abbotsford Canucks in goals this season? Danilo Klimovich, Aatu Ratu, Linus Karlsson, and as always, I'm angry. Shockingly, you didn't put Aiden McDonough in there. I voted I'm angry because I wanted McDonough. That was my pick. Aiden McDonough. I think Aiden McDonough is going to outscore all these guys.
Really?
Yeah. What do you well, let me get to the results. Sorry. Let me get to the results. 39% say Linus Karlsson, 26% say Aatu Ratu, 22% Danilo Klimovich, and 13% say I'm angry.
You got to read the graphic.
This is an updated one. I got the updated standings.
People that are trying to follow along, they're like,
I'm like percentage points off on the old one.
Okay. I'm going with Linus Karlsson. I think he's good. He led the team in scoring last year, and I think he's going to take another step this year. And I don't think he's going to be playing a ton of NHL games. He might get into a couple, but I think he's going to do another year in the AHL here full time. And he was the only Abbotsford Canuck last year. Quad playing every single game for the Abbotsford Canucks. Linus Karlsson. He's a tough kid, this Linus Karlsson kid, and he scores a lot of goals. Players hate him. Not on the team. The guys on the team love him, but players on the opposition team, the opposing team, they hate Linus Karlsson because he's skilled, he's big, he's tough. It's tougher than people think. I think he's going to be the guy leading the way this year. But I did see some write-ins. Yeah, you mentioned Aiden McDonough. And I want to give a shout out to someone because I thought it was actually a very good answer. They said Sheldon Dries. I said, hey, good point. Good point with Sheldon Dries. Yeah. Pablo, shot in the crest. Pablo says McDonough or Dries in the replies there. And I said, yeah, that's a good poll. But a lot of McDonough in there. Vince says Pod Colson. Yeah, a couple Pod Colsons as well. We'll see what happens. How much time he spends in there.
Okay, and that is our poll question. As always, brought to you by the great folks over at Atlas Goods. AtlasGDS.com is the place. If you order before 3 p.m., you can enjoy same-day shipping.
What?
Yeah, they ship it that day if you order before 3 p.m. They're on the ball.
Jeez, I tell you.
We couldn't hang at Atlas Goods, us folks at Canucks Convo. No. They're on the ball all the time.
I get all my work done between 11 at night and 3 in the morning.
I think they might be a little different.
And I take a lunch break. I have a couple pancakes in the middle of it. So that's my work day. What are you talking about? All right. Let's go. Betway. Thursday night. What do we got tonight, Quads?
Thursday night football.
We got Gators Garbage Disposal taking on Thomas Drance this week in fantasy football. Drance had about 45 picks in the first 3 rounds of this draft because he sold last year, as you would expect. Drance selling all of his players for draft picks, but now he's got a hell of a team going into this year. So maybe this Drance
weird how that works.
Maybe he's right about everything actually, but we'll have to see this week because Gators Garbage Disposal, which is my fantasy team, facing off against Drancer's team. I'm projected to lose by 80 points. So we'll see what happens. Our bet of the day today, Betway. So we got the Lions, we got the Packers. Quads, who's winning tonight? Lions, Pack.
I have Lions. Yeah, although I do have Jordan Love on my fantasy team, but I think it's Lions.
Man, I only watched the first half of that game last weekend on Sunday there. Jordan Love. Oh. I could have made a lot of those throws, but I was a high school quarterback.
Did you see how he finished that game though?
Oh, I didn't see. That's the thing. I stopped watching. I was like, this sucks. But he came back at the end there. So good for him. Our Betway bet of the day: David Montgomery and Aaron Jones, who he didn't play last week, so I was a little worried. I got Aaron Jones on my team. Aaron Jones and David Montgomery to combine for over 115 rushing yards, getting that at plus 110 over on Betway. $10 bet's going to return you $21. No Burt Cam today, just some Burt highlights.
Well, I'm showing his highlights because for some reason, and I'm not sure if it's a coincidence, but every time we're about to watch football, he gets zoomies on the couch. Like he runs back and forth and he just gets very amped for Monday Night Football.
Look at him, he's got a fresh haircut there.
Yeah, he's getting a haircut on Monday, but Sunday, like he gets very, very amped for football season.
He's bigger than that now.
No, that was this week. And
really?
You see me have to stop him because he started getting a little too amped, started digging into the couch. But
that's too bad. I'm excited. I'm excited for Friday night. BC Lions, man. It's gonna be a good game. Those Saskatchewan folk, where do they stay here in Vancouver? Because when they come here to play, there's a lot of green in BC Place. I don't know where they're all staying. You don't run into a lot of people that are like, I'm from Saskatchewan.
I was gonna make a mean joke. What? I shouldn't. I was gonna say they're RVs. Thought that was funny.
It's a scratcher bump, man. Yikes. Oh, Bird, he's having a nice snooze today there. Camera's waking him up. Cute dog, I'll tell you that. Yeah. I got to get some photos up of the dog I stayed with the other day.
He was cute.
He was cute. Forget what kind of dog he was. You might know. I don't know the breeds of dogs. I just know
Bernedoodle. He was a Bernedoodle.
Bernedoodle. He was a cute little dog, but he pissed every day. I came home, I had to come home and puddle of piss everywhere every time I came home.
Really? That's too bad.
He didn't know the pee pads. He had a pee pad.
How old is he?
5 months.
Oh, well, that's okay. I mean, it's not okay, but he's just learning. And I didn't know he was that young.
Listen, I'm engaged. I got to keep the ladies off me. Obviously, you this.
Shouldn't.
But I was walking down the street, and you just get approached. Everybody wants to pet the dog, and then they're like asking me these questions, and they're like, oh, like what breed is he? And I'm like, I don't know. I don't know. And they're like, how old is he? I'm like, I don't really know. And they're like, and I was like, I'm just like watching him for somebody, but like I had to take him out every day, and it's just like there's kids running across the street. Everybody's coming out of their apartments to pet this little puppy because he was cute. And I was so,
you know what I used to do? Because Bert was getting very reactive. It was a quick little, please don't pet my dog.
Oh, you would, you would be that guy.
I had to. You
Dude,
you do not want a dog that reacts every single time he sees a person, which is kind of what Bert is, even though I've tried to limit his interactions.
He likes me. Bert likes me. But I was walking the dog down the road, and there's these two little girls, and they were playing in their yard or whatever. They ran across the street, and I yelled at them. I said, stop. I said, look, you got to look both ways, kids. These kids, they're running right. I stopped them. I said, you could pet the dog. You got to stop. Did they stop? No, they ran right across the street. I tried to stop them, though.
They didn't look both ways?
No, they saw the puppy, and they looked, and they ran. I tried to stop the girls. I said, girls, you got to look both ways before you cross the street. I got hit by a car once. What? In a Save on Foods parking lot.
I don't know this story.
Yep, I got hit when I was about 7 years old or so, and I just, la-di-da-di-da, running across the street of a Save On in Nanaimo down at Terminal, and it's not even there anymore. It's just an old building. But yeah, I got hit by a car. Nothing too bad. It bumped me and it knocked me to the ground. But and then my mom didn't even feel bad. She just yelled at me. And I said, fair enough.
I think that'd be my.
And I didn't get like lit up by this thing. It was a parking lot, and it was just driving. But like I got hit pretty good, and it knocked me over. Plus, like that at 7 years old, I was still like 140, 50 pounds. So like it wasn't just like a little rag doll, but that thing got a piece of me.
By the time you were 8, you were stopping cars with your bare hand.
One time I saw my cat. I had a cat named Squirt. He was the biggest cat you ever seen. You've seen a picture of him.
This is quickly turning into a Patreon episode.
One time he got hit by a car, and the car hit him hard. Okay. Like it was driving down the road going a good 40, 50 or so. Probably not. Like so the car hits my cat. My cat just gets up, runs inside. He's chill. The car's got a little dent on us. My cat was a monster. I don't know. We've used the photo.
We've got to get photos of Squirt back on here.
Squirt's head is bigger.
Huge.
There's a picture of like holding one of my friends holding my cat.
Yeah.
And the cat's actually further away from the camera. His head's still bigger than my friend's head.
Squirt is the biggest cat I've ever seen.
Yeah. He was a monster. Lived 23.
That's crazy.
Good cat. But he got the herp and now he's dead. Great cat though. When I went and saw him, he was living on a farm. Not like I was like, he was
sure he was.
No, he was legitimately living on a farm, my grandparents' farm. And I went to visit him at the end. And this is when I was living away. And they're like, oh, he's gonna go this week. Come see him one last time. He doesn't really react to anyone. I walk through that back door. I go, pss, 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 pss. Runs across the yard. He sees me coming.
Oh.
He came up to me and he looked like a zombie. So that was a pretty rough time actually seeing him.
Still a special moment,
but it was
for
great.
Sure.
And I pet him. And
that's awesome.
I was wearing a Canucks combo shirt actually at the time. I got a photo of it. I'll try. Well, maybe not that photo because he looks like a dead cat that I'm holding.
Yeah.
At the time, I'll get some good shots of him maybe for tomorrow.
There's a lot of good Squirt shots.
Oh yeah. People used to love him at parties too, like back in the day. Everybody wanted to get a picture with this huge cat. And it's not like he was fat. He was built.
Yeah, he was.
Big build. He ate alley cat every day.
Yeah. He ate what?
Alley cat.
I thought you said alligator. I was like, whoa.
Food I could find at Walmart at the time, but he loved it. He wouldn't eat any of the Iams. He wasn't an Iams guy. He was alley cat. He wanted alley cat all the time.
Hell yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Should we wrap it up there?
Yeah, we did.
Did we do Betway?
Yeah, we did.
Did we? Oh yeah, we did. Okay.
Not the we didn't do the best job.
Yeah, 19 plus.
we didn't do a great job today at all.
Please play responsibly over at Betway. We'll close it out there. For my co-host Chris Faber and our technical producer Aaron Bordato, my name's David Guccelli. Thank you for listening to another episode of the Canucks Conversation.
Woo!
Thanks for listening to Canucks Conversation. Hit the subscribe button to never miss an episode.
How about keep it to a thank you, Jim?